Now we understand. By the way, let's talk about 7 different reasons why women think they are empowered. You know what I mean when I say women are treated like this when they come home with their line art and their parents are like, wow, this is awesome. Put it in the refrigerator. Her life has been a long game of strategy and deceit. Men will agree with a woman on almost everything. And if she is a beautiful woman, they will not only agree with her, but support her in her beliefs. You're a business genius, aren't you? It doesn't matter what it is because it's very simple. Take care, she's doing a good job because at least she's letting people know she needs help, which is better than a lot of women would do in their situation. So there you have it. If they were in their situation, many women would just sit in a truck and cry. If a woman can figure out what a man wants, and it's not that hard, then she can just not tell him. If a man thinks the most important thing in life is being with a woman and having a baby, she doesn't have to tell him. If a man thinks a woman is the most important thing in the universe, then the woman is actually in charge and she is in charge of the man. But who are we? When a woman can control a man, it's easy to see why she would start to believe that she was the one who built the bridge from my bedroom to the living room every night when I was a little boy. If you didn't see it or couldn't see it in the past, now is your chance to do so. It is quite remarkable to see a bridge when it is lit up at night as it lights up the night sky. No matter what happens, a woman can always make things more emotional and frustrating than before she stepped in. This is the 4th reason why women feel in control. Chaos and confusion are the prevailing atmosphere, and this strategy will work even if you don't have a solid move. If you cannot improve your position, then this is the weakness of your strategy. This is a classic example of a woman psychologically manipulating a man. She approached him and asked, "Do you know who your best friend is?" This person is very focused and highly concentrated. He will achieve his goal. He was flirting with me the other day, but that probably didn't work. So he might say things like, "You know, my best friend is on the other side of the world right now." We see women use these tactics to try to manipulate men emotionally until the man loses his emotional stability and then he is equal to the woman. For example, you could be Einstein, and she might be thinking about the theory of relativity, and she might want you to go to the store and buy something. Maybe it's her best friend. We see women use these tactics to try to manipulate men emotionally until the man loses his emotional stability and then he is equal to the woman. She did this by emotional manipulation, reaching the room and giggling, or putting down her pencil every time Einstein stopped. She's a genius. What does he do? Approach her and try to help her pick up a pencil. What does she think when she looks at them and tells them she wants them to do this and she wants them to do another? However, these things are pointless and useless. She wanted them to, no matter what. You'll bring down corporations, and then you'll bring down nations. She said, "I want you to recruit men from other parts of the world who don't share our values, and I'm going to give them free apartments with your tax dollars." Free. If you can understand why she feels that way, you know there's no way to stop her. In fact, she's the one in charge of the entire production. Because the same is true for the weak. To the best of our knowledge and belief so far, if you're manipulating people emotionally, she's fine and you know it, so let's go. You'll starve your own children for virtue, and signal to complete strangers that you know you have a lot of free time. At least, when we say civilized, we mean less aggressive, less masculine, and more feminine. That's one way you can interpret it, and that's how we interpret it. So there you have it. If you think about it, this is exactly what we mean when we talk about civilization. At least, when we say civilized, we mean less aggressive, less masculine, and more feminine. Turning to the 2nd reason women feel they are responsible. They have more experienced women who have come to believe their own narratives of emotional victimization despite the market's efforts to change them. This is a healthy development. However, they have also come to trust their advertising and marketing. You know this can happen. When I was a kid, I used to do inappropriate things like steal cookies from a cookie jar. I realize now that this can happen to anyone, and I did something as a kid that should be rewarded. In fact, you should thank them for their efforts with a cookie. But they didn't fall for it, which was unfortunate, because they wouldn't fall for my tricks at all. However, if I were a pretty girl, maybe this would be the result. I keep claiming that I didn't steal the cookies, but eventually I'm starting to believe I'm telling the truth. I'm acting, if you know what I mean. I complained about how unfair it was that I had to spend so much time locked in my room as a kid and was taken to my room without cookies. I grieve my unjust charges and unjust imprisonment. I continue to express my emotional evidence and support for this cause. All this excitement, all this breathing, all this crying and all this emotional turmoil was just an act of not acknowledging that I was trying to steal the cookie. I really believe it. You know what I mean when I say I get emotional when I'm only 7 or at most 8. Do you know? So I thought it was incredible because I actually started to believe in myself. So there you have it. This is another reason why women feel they are in charge. So here we come to the main reasons why women feel they are in charge. Here's the thing. Athletes who compete at the high school level have the potential to compete at the professional level despite men building everything and maintaining it all, and despite women thinking they are in charge. Maybe not the best athletes, but most of them. So watching women play a sport is an absolute waste of time. While watching men compete in sports is by no means a waste of time, female athletes don't earn even a fraction of what male athletes do. While all of this is true, male athletes don't get the same treatment as female and child athletes. But if you only have one female and 10 males, you can't refill anything. Females are fertile. From a biological standpoint, the fact that males are destined to protect and defend females is a necessary part of their evolutionary deal for survival, which means that females have intrinsic value. Would you believe these two women were together at different local times? If you are a man, that is first and foremost. If your vocation or obsession in life is to be with women and please them, then you have nothing to do with their lives. A woman just needs to realize that this is how men think, and then she will control him. Marie Curie has done amazing scientific work. She is in command because everything else in the area revolves around her. They know his mother raised him, which is why his focus is on that. He doesn't have to compete in a man's world because he was raised in a woman's world where everything is simple, giving, and people care. So he doesn't have these machismo, patriarchal ideals that are despised and ridiculed. He grew up without those values. Even though a woman can't do the job a man does, she won't forget to hit the thumbs up button. If you enjoyed this story and the lessons she is trying to teach you, please subscribe to my channel and let me know you subscribe in the comments section below. I would really appreciate it. I will give an answer based on your observations later. If you'd like to see more stories like this published, please leave a comment below indicating you'd like to see this.